All right, guys. Sidestorm Gaming's MAXPAX in the bottom right side of the map. REYNOR in the top left. Basilisk up against Sidestorm. It's his EVP for the ages. REYNOR has just got through against some incredibly stiff opposition in the previous round, but MAXPAX is a special beast because MAXPAX, I really don't think MAXPAX, like, endgame is particularly great against Terran. Against Zerg, it seems to be pretty good, and I think it's partially because he does get a good amount of practice against a lot of, REYNOR and Serral in the big online tournaments, but also the Lambos and the likes, and quite a few, good mid-level pro Zergs, I would say, on the EU server. And I think just over the years, he's built up his experience in that matchup. So that's always one where I think MAXPAX is hard to deal with. He blocks REYNOR's hatchery, forces him to take the third. I also think REYNOR has been a bit too willing to accept late-game scenarios against Protoss of late. I think REYNOR really feels like Protoss is favored in the matchup, has for a long time. It feels like if they just defend well, they should always win. I think the secret to success lies in embracing the gamble, embracing the fact that if Protoss doesn't know exactly what you're doing, you can often catch them off guard with silly gambles. I think ZVP is a matchup where if you're happy to do silly gambles, it's really hard for Protoss to win. And it ends up being quite balanced. But if you're thinking, I'm the better player and I'm going to win every time and I'm going to play 100% success rate build orders, you need your name to be Serral, or that does not work out. So what I'm looking for REYNOR is a willingness to take gambles, but not repetitive gambles. Not, I'm just going to skip my Roachhorn and Baneling Nest every game and hope I get away with it, because he's done a lot of that recently and gotten really punished by Glaive Adepts after Oracles. I also would like to see him, take some aggressive risks and shove in some odd timings and have some little prepared surprises, because I think MAXPAX is generally relatively predictable in this matchup. And that gives you a chance to be a bit of a sniper and get maybe a free win or a bit of an advantage by sniping his third base with a Ling Flood and doing some tricky builds. Who knows, maybe even a drone drill Ling Flood at some point. We were just talking about how Dark's returning from the military shortly. Can you guys remember when he signed up? Because he tweeted out saying he's going to be back. He's looking forward to seeing us all this year. So I think he was kind of implying, hey, my military service will end this year. I imagine later in the year. I feel like it was it early 2025 when Dark finally had to go? What was his last tournament? I'm trying to remember. I remember like last Pigfest. He was kind of saying he's going to have to be gone. Like I think his head might have already been shaved. Like he was already like about to be signing up for his boot camp training and all that. Mandatory military service in Korea. Normally about 18 months, I believe. I think it depends on what job you get, though. So it's probably just like the very end of this year, I imagine, is when he gets out. Oh, Spore! Nice Spore trick! That actually also traps the Adept. The Adept does come in. Very well done. Spore Crawler, of course, gets cancelled and then rebuilds one immediately. Just out of habit. He's like, oh wait, I do want a Spore. He's building an Oracle. Should have just let it finish building. But I mean, it would have been finished earlier than it was needed, but obviously does lose just a couple minerals this way. Not a big cost. It's like 17 minerals. Oracle will go across a map. Second Oracle's there. Second Gateway comes down after third Nexus. Nice greedy build for Maxi. He can shade backwards here to the safety of this choke, or this choke point. Oracle comes in over the natural. That's a lava. Does get cancelled there. You don't need to cancel that. Actually, did it get cancelled? Yeah, I think it did cancel, because it still had 10 hit points, right? Oh, I guess armor doesn't affect the Oracle, does it? So it actually does do 10 damage a shot, because it's spell damage. Never mind. I was like, you can't do 10 damage to an egg in one go. That thing has 10 armor, mate. Spell damage don't care about armor. Second Oracle flying in. MAXPAX is so good with his Oracle multitasking. I wish I could do this, man. Like, he's so good at just flying in from multiple angles. Where's the first one? Okay, first one's gone home at least because it was out of energy. Doesn't really find big damage, He's just forced a few tricks and cancels so far. He's got a quick Twilight Forge. That, to me, speaks of charge. That's a charge opening, isn't it, guys? Yeah, because REYNOR loves to open fast melee. And did he see it? He confirmed it. He saw the Evo chamber. So the problem for REYNOR now is MAXPAX knows what he's doing. You got to build a safety Roach Horn first of all, but not just that. He's going to go for Zealots and force you to build a bunch of Roaches. And if you don't have a way of turning those Roaches into a nice, effective timing attack, it's going to be a bit awkward. I actually think in this scenario, I mean, It's weird, right? Because here's the problem. If you could go Banes, it's a smoother transition into Ling Bane Hydra. Problem with going Banes is if he adds a few Archons, which he's very likely to do. Sorry, Oracle turns on the laser, chases the Lings away. Doesn't get any, though. But if you go Banes and he makes a few Archons, obviously Ling Bane's pretty bad against that. Lings will come back just in time to get some damage on the Adepts. They, of course, have to commit to the Shade, but oh, more Lings coming out. Okay, a lot of Adepts go down. 3 more drones are building. Reynor with only a very slight worker advantage. MAXPAX economy has been absolutely brilliant. I think seeing that many Zerglings, does he still commit to Archons or does he try and make Storm? I think he still commits to Archons. I don't think we'll see Storm. Prism comes out. Lings poke the front. Oracles are there with some energy recharges on them. Prism's hiding. He's going to warp in these High Templar at home. I think he knows Reynor's probably going to track them with Zerglings and stop them from morphing. He's going to go Zealots as well as 2 more gateways. So it's going to be 8-gate Zealot. 8-gate Zealot Archon. No Storm against a Hydra Den that's almost ready. If Groove Spines gets up before this hits, it gets like 10, 12 Hydras with Groove Spines. It does really well against Archon Zealot. Obviously, like, Archon Zealot clears Zerglings really well, but once you have a critical mass of Hydras, you can fight okay. Oh, no Groove Spines? Okay, he's building 2 Hydras and an Infestation. He needs more Hydras right now. Reynor has to respect this. I mean, he's got a lot of Lings and Queens. Oh, Warping on the front is a crazy choice. 9 Hydras are building. Still no upgrades for those Hydras, but at least that will give him some ranged firepower, which I think will be somewhat safe. Storm starts up behind this. So far, a good defense for Reynor, sorry. But here comes the Zealot Warping. You thought he was done, but no, he's going to go for it now. Seeing no defensive units, just Lings and Queens. Very bad against Zealot Archon. You can see the Stasis Trap getting queued up there. He's going to click that as Reynor. No, Reynor did not click the Stasis Trap, unfortunately. Does set it off there, though. 1 Queen has already gone down. Hydras are here. The Lings have to not clump up on the Archons, because the Archon splash damage, when you chase, that's where the Archons do really good damage. You can see the Zerglings trying to spread out, but not able to get rid of that Archon. At the end of the day, I don't think the trading's too bad for Reynor, but he desperately needs those Hydra upgrades. We always talk about how Reynor forgets his Hydra upgrades habitually. This is crazy, though. Normally, he makes 1 upgrade, forgets the other. He's trying to rush Lurkers so hard, but there's no way he has enough gas to go Hive and Lurker Den. He actually needs to take gases on his 4th first. This is just a misplay for Reynor. I think in the heat of everything, he's thinking, if I get Lurkers early enough, I can kill you. Problem is, he's going to have Lurker Tech and enough gas to make, like, 1 Lurker. He contaminates the Templar Archives. That's also not a good choice. I know I'm sounding overly critical, but he should go for the upgrade. Problem is, are you going to fight before that upgrade kicks in? No. So this has no long-term value. If you were doing an attack or you thought he was about to attack you, which obviously he's not because he's just lost. Well, maybe. I guess he could pressure you now. Maybe Reynor's a bit worried about defending that, but long-term delaying the upgrade is what's going to give you more value. 2nd Robo comes in, 4th base on the way for MAXPAX as well. These gases are so late for Reynor. I think this is something you've really got to focus on when you play fast Lurkers, is you need to get the gases on the 4th so early. And the luxury is if you can get a 5th base and 10 gases, that's when you can actually make a lot of Lurkers. So notice how Hive's finishing, right? That's awesome. We've got a 2nd Evo, so we're going to go double upgrades, I guess. You just don't have enough gas for double upgrades and Adrenal and Lurker upgrades and everything else. So it's kind of awkward here. It's like a Ling Hydra Lurker style, but as always, you've got to kind of chill and just play a bit defensively for the next 2 minutes. And that should give MAXPAX time to get a massive amount of Immortal Storm, which he can control the map with. Behind that, he'll go Fleet Beacon while transferring his probes. He's going to get a Mothership up probably first and then start adding Tempests as needed. Mothership's amazing because Time Warp is so big in a fight. There's a lot of good things you can do. What is the standing between Reynor and MAXPAX at this moment? Is it 1-1? Oh, historical trading all time? I have no idea. Last year? I have no time. I can check the stats after this game if you guys remind me. Reynor, I feel like, oh my gosh, almost eats a big stasis. Reynor sometimes crushes Protoss players and sometimes he looks a bit lost in the matchup. I feel like it changes week to week. It's kind of got that like Polish DVP, right? It's almost like when you're watching a Laser or Nurtio, where if they can read the Protoss exactly and hard count it, they can slap it down, but they're like easily tiltable in the matchup. Oh, Lurker's not burrowed. Okay, the Lurkers are burrowed. Oh my god, he's just gonna push right through, Reynor. No support here. The Lings and Lurkers on this side getting jumped on by Zealot High Templar. A bit of a crazy push here for the Protoss player, but does lose a few expensive units. Sport Prism in the back still being a nuisance. It's still so heavy on Zerglings. Adrenals here and +2. Dude, if he can get like a full Lings around and some good Lurker volleys, it could be really nice. Right now, it's actually the third base that's wide open. These Lurkers are not covering the third, but that's such a weird area to push into. He doesn't want to surround himself, MAXPAX. Got some more Zealot Storm coming forwards. I think he's got cannons in most of his bases. Uh-oh, the Zealots need that Storm to back him up. Zergling's quick to evacuate, though. Okay, he's going to push through here. The Lurkers trying to pull around. Oh my gosh, REYNOR wants to surround this army. REYNOR's trying to trap him right now. Lings do get Stasis Trap, though. Good Stasis Trap Storm zoning. A couple of those Lurkers on the left get popped by that Storm. That new long-lasting Storm. Can't sit in that one. REYNOR's kind of all in on Ling Hydra Lurker. He's got 11 Lurkers, 10 Hydras, a lot of Zerglings here. He's got all these upgrades kicking in now as well, even Adaptive Talons on the way. But look at this, MAXPAX staying active. He knows Zealots aren't going to help against this, so he recalls the Storm Immortal and sends the Zealot counter in. Really good pivot. Not only that, 2-star Tempests on the way. He's skipped the Mothership this game, at least for now. And I think he's doing really well to hold on. Stalker's still there in the wall. He's going to add air weapons. Storm goes down. As I said, this is so... Like, when I watch MAXPAX PvT, and it goes to this stage, I feel my heart sink. And I go, oh no, he's going to endgame. But look at this. It's like, he doesn't rush a 5th base because he knows that gives an easy angle for the Zerg to trade. He says, just sit on 4 bases, deny creep, control the map where we can, get Tempest to counter Lurkers and Broodlords, have plenty of High Templar for Storms, bunch of Archon Immortal on the ground is just a good solid ground army. So hard to deal with this as the Zerg player. And now he's being forced into Corruptors, +3 melee. Let's see +2 range come in, maybe, or maybe Carapace if he wants to go more Ultra style. I think Ultra style is usually really good, but not when your opponent has 8 Immortals. I think it's not even an option. If your opponent already has 8 Immortals, you're this late in the game, there's no opening, there's no timing available where you could catch him exposed. Nexus gets killed, no cancel there for Maxi. The question is can MAXPAX just keep progressing and not die? And how does REYNOR kill him? For the long term, do you think it's quite MAXPAX favored? Oh, he gets jumped on! He has to storm the Zerglings. He does storm the Zerglings. He storms himself in the process. Tempests do take some big damage, but a lot of damage goes down on the Zerg there as well. Units lost have 2,000 in favor of Protoss, and the Lurkers have to fall back. You can see the Lings are good at surrounding the High Templar and making them storm themselves and stuff, but it costs a lot of Zerglings, number 1. Number 2, the Archons clear them so very quickly. 28 kills, 10 kills, 24 kills, 23 kills. Those Archons, that's 4 Archons with about 100 kills between them. I know they're mostly Zerglings, but that's still impressive. Lurkers are popping out in the main base. Oh, you gotta focus the Nidus, bro. Bro, you gotta focus the Nidus, man. Oh my god, he let the Queens out! MAXPAX with a big doo-doo! REYNOR's getting inside the main base. Templar Archives, a bunch of pylons are exposed, not to mention the Nexus and the mining. Beautiful move for REYNOR. He's found a way in, and that's what he's needed. The 4 bases will start running low. You know, the main and natural are already half mined out, so denying a 5th at the same time is excellent. The Lings do that. The Immortal High Templar go for a counterattack. Oh, the Overseers go a little bit far forward, but look at that, man. The Changelings actually blocked the Archons for a second, pops a few of them. There's still Lurker Queen in the main. Dude, such sick moves here for REYNOR, but there's a ball of problem on his side of the map. He needs more Zerglings. Honestly, pure Zergling beats this army. There's only 1 Archon, the rest is just Immortal High Templar. He does bait a Storm onto himself a little bit. The Lurkers are coming back. These Storms are actually gonna make this a costly maneuver for REYNOR to clear up the bloody Storms, mate. And how many units does he lose? He loses like 2 Immortals and a High Templar. That could have been way worse. Okay, it looks like a few more High Templar might have gone down from that last volley, but he does clean up the main. If MAXPAX can defend this frontal base with like an energy recharge and a zoning Storm, not to mention Mama. 1 Overseer goes down, Time Warp. Yeah, and I think REYNOR wisely falls back. He's got to split his army, keep working his way in around the left side. Nidus the back door constantly, while simultaneously penetrating the natural over here and the 4th base and trying to hit those 3 angles. Maybe you can find an opening. MAXPAX supply is not that good. We've got 11 Corruptors coming in as well. If they can kind of catch these Tempests or Mothership in rotation between the bases, I think REYNOR's playing an excellent late game. That being said, still no Gaxes on the 5th. Desperately needs it. He needs to transfer Workers from the natural in the 3rd, take a 6th base, take Gases, and maybe get some Spines on them as well, because I worry if this gets sniped by Zealots while he's busy attacking, it could be a real problem. And MAXPAX has a massive amount of minerals. Like, MAXPAX is actually kind of screwing up right now. He's just now rebuilding his Templar Archives, which means these 5 High Templar are all he's got. Just now rebuilding his Nexus as well. I feel like MAXPAX should be spreading cannons everywhere. He's kind of just floating minerals. MAXPAX is floundering. He's building 2 Templar Archives, 3 carriers at a time. Lings are going to go on top. Beta Storm, they immediately dodge it. Very nicely done. Hydra Lurker trying to fight with those Immortals on that side. Mama Tempest is going to slowly break through this, but as I said, slowly. I'd like these units to push to the left side. Corruptors are going to try and dive. Okay, well, I don't think there's any Storm to protect it, which means he's going to try and recall a bunch of units to defend. He's recalling High Templar to try and defend the Mothership. Corruptors do Sniper, though. Very nicely done. Rain is on top of this base, and I think if he can breach the natural, get rid of the natural, he'd be in a great spot. These Lurkers just need to shuffle forward. He's never going to break the Tempests, so he's either got to run away or he's got to push south right now, because right now he's not doing any damage. He's hovering in a dangerous area. Luckily, there's no detection. There's 2 observers on the map, but they're not in vision right now, so the Tempests aren't doing anything. This is giving Reynor time. Reynor needs to shove south. He's hanging out in no man's land. He doesn't have many Corruptors here, but wait, can he overwhelm? He's only got like 7 Corruptors. Reynor's fighting this wrong right now. He's got to push forward. Meanwhile, Zealots are in the main base. Oh, that's what I was talking about. There's also Zealots on the right side. This is a big problem. His Lurkers aren't doing anything right now. That's a really big mistake at this crucial moment. The Queens are going down. The drones on the 5th. The main base as well. MAXPAX with a brutal Zealot run by. And the Lurkers, this natural and main, were wide open the whole time, but Reynor misses an opportunity and now has to turn tail and run away from that air army. Oh, that is rough. But he did deny +2 air weapons. He's getting his own +2 air weapons. I'd love to see Carapace after that, as I do think that's crucially important. Quick upgrade, cheap upgrade against the carriers that are now coming in. But what a stressful game. And down to 66 workers. I would have loved to have all that money on 80 workers, have a 6th base, and be going to the next step. Now he's on 60 Lings, which are good run by unit. He's got 17 Corruptors, which is enough to deal with the Tempest. I don't know about the Tempest and the Corruptors, let alone with Archon Storm support. He's got 3 Hydras, 10 Lurkers, 1 Viper. 2nd Viper and another Lurker on the way. Oh, I love this run by... Yeah, I should be able to deny that Nexus. A bunch of building cannons. Good value there. MAXPAX mineral bank that he was sitting on for a long time has come in really handy to help him rebuild a bit, but I love that these Zerglings are finding such good trades. So many probes going down, the new Cybercore, a bunch of pylons, really good trade there for Reynor, and wisely he goes for that. Like I said, much quicker upgrade, the +1 air, and it's going to block, of course, 2 damage from those carriers because they do attack twice. Very big percentage block armor against those low damage, frequently attacking units, the Interceptors. Oh, gets an observer. Extra hatchery going bottom left side. I don't mind that. Not much creep spread out for Reynor right now. I think he's got to get a move on. And the problem is MAXPAX has a giant army, so he doesn't want to fight too early, but there's cannons there. Mama's out. Reynor rebuilt some drones, but I think the longer you sit back, the more MAXPAX army count is going to overtake you. MAXPAX has terrible money income. Reynor has decent income. Good gas, bad mineral income, I would say. The fact that he doesn't have a 6th base even now is crazy to me. Trying to build an Ultra Cabinet, I think he's dilly-dallying. Like, he's looking for, like, 1 or 2 air units to pick off, but I think he got spotted by an observer or something there. Something in that Protoss army had way longer vision than the Zerg units. Abduct on the Oracle's always worth. Oh, no abduct there. A bit sloppy, man. Oracle's 300 resources, and it's the map hacks of Protoss, right? If he tags you, he knows where you're coming from. You can't surprise him. Lings are going to run in again. Oh, I like that. Click the Archon with a few Zerglings would be good, but there's so many cannons. He does back away. He could surround this and deal with it if there wasn't a storm. 1 Archon on its own, of course, would not stop a mass Lings around. 3-2-1 upgrades on the ground with +2 Carapace, +1 Fire Carapace coming in. Infest is now coming in as well. Reynor seems to be accepting a defensive position. It's just tough because, like, technically it's the right play, right? Just don't trade too badly. You're mining so much more, you should be good. But how do you ever force a fight with this army? Part of me says, well, Ultras makes sense. Like, I love that he's going Ultras. Problem, there's still 4 Immortals and 6 Archons under that army. It's a full air army. 8 Tempers, 6 Carriers, Mothership, 7 High Templar for Storm Sport. But he's still got 4 Immortals and 6 Archons on the ground. Well, I guess only 5 Archons in the army. 4 Archons, sorry. As 2 of them are back at home defending the Lings. The point being is you'll need to have a lot of Ultras and land like a Blinding Cloud or Microbial or something like that to overwhelm. The reason you go Ultras is to delete the High Templar Archon, allow the Corruptors to fight the air, which the Corruptors can beat the air on its own. It's the Storm and the Archons make it very difficult for those Corruptors. No more flyer upgrades, which is a problem for Reynor, as +2 finally restarts for MAXPAX. MAXPAX carriers are kind of garbage upgrade-wise right now. But only 22 Corruptors, that's 44 supply of Corruptors. I think Tempests are 4 supply right now? Is it 4 or 5, guys? I think it's 4. So it's 32 supply of Tempests, 36 supply of Corruptors. It's like 68 supply of air, not counting the Mothership, which is another 8 supply. Ling Lurker counter comes in, but good storms. Not quite able to overwhelm. The High Templar doing some very heavy lifting. He's going to go for it, but he doesn't have the numbers. There's no way Reynor has the numbers to overwhelm all of that. He's going to try and burrow a Lurker as well, but you can see one Archon will go down. And then, of course, the Archon Zealot going to clean up the rest of that. Really nice trade. He's going to replace these units with Ultras. You can see Reynor's trying to get into that heavy Ultra so he can overwhelm the ground and go for the big engage. Thing is, if he does this, Reynor also needs to throw more workers away. He needs to drop down to like 50, maybe 30 workers, because MAXPAX has 150 army supply, and that's only growing. Even though his income's so small, MAXPAX is just looking for the perfect engagement. And I think Reynor's going to have to sack a bunch of workers to have a competitive army supply. Big thing we've seen Reynor do a lot lately is try to engage Ultras against Protoss. Almost every single time he's engaged with vastly lower army supply and no flank. So even if he gets a good spellcaster usage, he's just engaging with like, you know, 4 Ultras into like 10 Immortals and a max Skytoss army. And it doesn't matter how well you Microbial Shroud or Fungal on your Parasite, it's just not going to matter in that scenario. And been a bit of a debate going on with the people who hate Ultralisks and me, where I'm like, look, Ultras aren't a good unit to just sit here like this. In this sort of game, Ultras aren't great, right? I get why he's going for them, because he feels like there's no other way to make a play. The Ultras, normally you want to hard swap into them all at once. You don't want to drip feed one Ultra out at a time. Let your opponent set up for the perfect engage. Let your opponent know what's happening. It's an ambush unit. It's a hard tech switch unit. It's a unit that takes advantage of timings. In this case, he feels forced into it because of that massive, massive Protoss army. But it's hard, man. Do you trade these Lurkers to replace with Ultras? Do we trade 5 drones into Spores and Spines down here? Maybe 10 drones to get more? I think he has to. It's such a hard decision to make. I don't think he realizes just how low MAXPAX economy is. He should, though. Like, he sees that MAXPAX has only just got this one mining base on the right side. He's not rebuilding anything else. Like, he's starving for cash. Oh, Rainy's gonna go for it! Here we go! Big Ultra Infestor engagement. Big Fungal. Oh, big Fungals. Oh, my lord. Parasitic bombs as well, but the Corruptors are getting minced. The Corruptors clumped up over the Archons a bit too much, I think. The Parasitic bombs did really good, but the Corruptors all clumped up just here, and I think the Archons landed some big hits on them also. He only had +1 armor, and +2 air weapons had kicked in for the carriers. That might be a good enough fight for MAXPAX. We've got 12 Corruptors, 1 Viper being rebuilt. He's got to cancel Neuroparasite, I think. Neuroparasite wasn't ready. He also did not have Microbial Shroud for that fight. If he just dropped 1 Microbial, I think the Ultras would have survived a lot longer. That being said, the Ultras did survive anyway, so Ultras weren't really the weak point. It was the Corruptor count being maybe a bit too low. The upgrades not being that favored, only slightly favored for him. And, of course, the Corruptors clumping over the Archon Storm. He did have a good spellcaster usage, though, and remember, MAXPAX is broke, so Reynor loses the bottom left base. He's got the top right. If Reynor can get up enough Corruptors to deal with this army, maybe. MAXPAX, dude, he's going to recall and build a Nexus? Oh, MAXPAX! I mean, he's already 16,000 ahead in the resources, lost the Efficiency King. This is why I was saying Reynor should sack drones and make sure his army is as big as possible. Because it's one of these things where, like, yes, you've built an economy advantage, but if your opponent has 30 more army supply than you and then just wrecks the fight that hard, you'd be much better off lowering your worker count and having a bigger army. It's a terribly hard decision to make, but I think MAXPAX kind of forced that decision to be made. And because Reynor didn't make that decision, he would have needed, like, a near perfect engagement to actually win that last fight while being that far behind on supply. Army supply, that is, of course. Ling's gonna go for the counter yet again. Dude, they've got so much value this game, these Ling run buys. Such an excellent move. If he could come in and get some abducts, that'd be good. So if he comes around this right side with the Corruptor Viper and just abducts a few Tempests, you've got to come from either the far left or the far right, where the Revelation doesn't see you. It comes from over here. Over here, Reynor. Over here. If he comes from that, easy abducts. There we go! Okay, grabs just 1. I mean, a little bit cowardly, but I understand why. He's got to run. Reynor has to run. He can't take this fight. Oh, he's going to go for it. That's a lot of Archons and High Templar. Oh my golly, the Corruptors are going to get wrecked. The Corruptors dive on top. The Parasitic Bombs are there. But REYNOR has to tap out. MAXPAX Air Army is a bit too powerful. Let's go back to that fight over there. Was it just not enough Corruptors, guys? Okay, so first thing I'm going to point out, guys. Ultras, where are they? He did flank with 3 Ultras from the right. I was going to say, did he not Ultra flank? He did, right? Yes. These Ultras flanking is really good. Would have actually been better if they were a little bit closer, honestly. Because the earlier your Ultras go in, the better it is. So the way I like to talk about these engagements when I'm telling noobs to do it, I don't know how much it applies at pro level, is you want to have your army on different control groups where possible. At this stage, often you will F2 A move, but I think your Ultras should always be in front of your Corruptors. Notice how these Ultras are quite far away. These Ultras are actually behind the Corruptors for the most part. The reason you want that is you want to make sure that the first Tempest, Carrier, Archon shots are not landing on Corruptors, number one. They're landing on the Ultras. You also want to try and kill as much of the High Templar and Archons before the fight, before you're eating Storms and Archon hits on these Corruptors. So I think the Corruptors went in a little bit too early. Now that being said, you've only got 22 Corruptors, quite a few of who are wounded. Your Infestors are a bit far behind. Your Vipers are. Your Infestors are quite close. They're right there. And I like that 2 come from behind as well. Doesn't quite have Neuroparasite ready. Doesn't quite have +2 air armor. And against, like I said, it's like 77, 76 supply of Protoss Air. You've only got 44 supply of Corruptors. Similar upgrades. It's when you account for Archons and Storm as well, I think this is just not enough anti-air. The Zerglings are near worthless in this fight. So that's, you could say 16 supply that's wasted. I don't know. I really think it's the drones though that's big. Like, look how many drones aren't mining. I think if he could have just built a bunch of Spores and Spines or killed some of his drones, even 6-7 more Corruptors here, if you sacrifice 14-15 drones, it's such a big game changer in how this fight engages. All right, so now let's watch. So the first Tempest shots do land on the Corruptors. The Corruptors are kind of on A move, and they already eat a bit of Storm. And you can see they're very clumped, these Corruptors. So the move REYNOR is trying to do is he wants to land Fungal Parasitic Bomb in the air unit, so they're taking 25 damage per Fungal, but most importantly, the Parasitic Bomb does 120, I believe, is what a Parasitic Bomb does, right, guys? I think it's still 120. They changed the number a bunch of times. I think it's 120 at the moment. Over like 7-8 seconds with a 1 second delay on the damage starting. But the thing is, if the Corruptors fly over the top, the Parasitic, on top of the carriers, the Interceptors that are attacking the Corruptors are flying through the Parasitic Bomb and the Fungal and dying, and they're flying through their own Storms. So that means the carriers basically just get their DPS just dropped really quickly. Problem is, the Corruptors are still so clumped themselves. I don't think you want them this clumped, and I think they're actually taking a lot of Archon Splash as they fly over. And you can see, yes, there's 22 Corruptors, but if we look at their hit points down here, and I can go back to this one, they've already taken a fair bit of damage. And you can see the Interceptor count's still at 48. Still a full complement of Interceptors. So the Interceptors actually haven't died yet, which is kind of crazy to me. Corruptor count's already down to 13. There's Archon Splash hitting them and the Ultras and the Storms. I don't know if MAXPAX targeted the Corruptors. I feel like he probably should have, but it felt like these Corruptors just disappeared. So Time Warp was really good as well. I mean, it's always going to be hard to win this fight. I'm not saying it's easy, but as always, I'm looking for what players could do better. And I think REYNOR, yeah, needed to sack a bunch of drones, get a bunch more Corruptors, and ideally just spread the Corruptors out a bit more. Because the Parasitic Bomb somehow didn't kill the Interceptors. I'm still kind of confused at how no Interceptors died in this fight. Does anyone understand that? Oh, did he not land a Power Bomb? Oh, both Vipers got feedback. Did he not get a Parasitic Bomb off, guys? Sorry, there's so much green crap in here. It's so hard to tell, even if I turn off health bars. It's really hard to tell. StarCraft 2 battles, man. I don't think there's a Parasitic Bomb that got off, right? Oh, I think you're right, guys. Yeah, I think those feedbacks landed. So because the Vipers didn't get their Parasitic Bombs off, so hats off to MAXPAX for landing those. This is another reason why you want your Ultras to go in a little bit ahead of time. And you want to have, I always say you want to have more Ultras than you need so that you can just A-move them like even a screen ahead of your Corruptors and Vipers and Infestors, you know, if you need to. And just clear all the High Templar before that happens. But they're actually really well protected by the Immortal Archon. So it's really hard to actually get through and clear those. But as I said, Corruptors are definitely too far forward. And the Ultras, I think, needed to be leading the charge a little bit. You can see these guys also were a little mistimed there from behind. But good feedbacks, man. Really good feedbacks. And not enough Corruptor supply, as well as a bit too clumped on the Corruptors for Reynor. GG, well played. Nice game one for MAXPAX. Alright guys, Sidestorm Gaming's MAXPAX to the bottom left side. Nice recovery in that last game, barely surviving. I think Reynor's going to be a little triggered by what happened in that last game. Now, is he going to predict another block for MAXPAX? 15 hatchery before expand, maybe? He sends a drone down now. I think he can get it in time, but no, he builds an Overlord. So I don't think he can get this up. That's a very early probe block. Has to send a second worker down to build the pylon. MAXPAX here doing a extremely disruptive opening. See, the Overlord sees. Reynor goes directly to his third base. Probe doesn't even see the drone leaving on this map. Oh, he's going to take the middle. Okay. All right, all right. It's good to walk queens from. I think we're going to see a queen walk. Thing is, MAXPAX, when he sees this hatchery placement, he's going to know that's going to come. So he's going to play 6-gate blink and be safe against it. Also, historically, MAXPAX will take the third in front of you when you do this. I mean, he shouldn't. He should take the defensive third, but MAXPAX a friggin' Chad Gamar used to always do that on Crimson Court. There was a purple gas on Crimson Court, so at least there was a reward for doing that, but yeah. Thank you for the kind comments, Mind Explosion, those in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I am a pretty damn good StarCraft player, I will say that. I am nowhere near the pros, but I'm pretty damn good, and I am proud of my level, you know? It's all about effort, talent, hard work, studying at build orders, passion for the game, combination of all those factors, and that's why Cyril is 1,000 times better than anyone else. So he has a lot more of all of those. Some players have good speed, good instincts. Some players are good with build orders. Very few have all of the above. Cyril, of course, is the guy that does. What's a Chad gamer mean, says Hatterog. Chad is a... So there's two types of gentlemen in this world. There are Chads and virgins. Chads tend to have a lot of erotic encounters and potential mating prospects, and virgins tend to have none. So essentially, you end up a lot more confident if you're a Chad, and you're willing to take more risks and just get out there and try more things. So essentially, if a player's willing to take risks, just do ballsy maneuvers and generally get out there and try stuff. That's a Chad gamer move. Whereas if you're a European player who someone battlecruiser rushed you yesterday, so now you build 2 spores in your main base 2 minutes into the game while quaking in your boots and being afraid of everything your opponent's going to do, that's like a virgin gamer move. So just explaining that for the people in the chat not up to date on the lingo. Very clever analysis as always. This is a high IQ community of people who are very, very smart. Second Adept's coming across. It's third base is mighty exposed. 4 more Lings coming out as well as a quick second queen. He went second queen before third hatchery, so he can quickly defend these Adepts. Oh, I would have loved that queen to just move south slightly. She could have blocked those Adepts and made them walk around her. But good movement on the Zergling. Second queen comes out. Should only lose 1 drone here. And, oh, the Adept survives. Well done. Here we go. Adept shading to the left side. Someone in chat says, but can Pig beat Roddy? Someone says Roddy's not GM. Oh, Roddy's definitely Grandmaster. 100% he's Grandmaster. What rank he would be? I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched his gameplay in a while, but I feel like even Roddy playing poker all day is still GM. It's just you have to play enough games to be in GM. And if he's taking breaks to travel to go commentate poker in Korea and that sort of stuff and whatever else he's been up to, it's, you know... Where but it is MMR would still place him in GM, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. Oh, good surround! But dude, this is big damage for MAXPAX. 6, oh my gosh, 7? Not 7. Oh gosh. Not like this. Lings go to the other side of the map. The sneaky Adepts come in. This is every Zerg's worst nightmare. We've all died to this so many times. You think, oh yeah, I think he's gone home with his Adepts. Let's go pressure with my Zerglings. And you get to the other side of the map, and you just see these 2 little friggin'... Usually, what, your opponent's normally red, right? Little red dots on the minimap. In this case, maybe blue. just freaking teleporting into your base, and you're like, ah, you just know there's no clean answer. I mean, he could have ran his drones a lot better. He should have just like drilled his drones out of there, maybe lost 5 workers, but it's up to 9 with the Oracle damage there as well, and this is an awkward spot. Oh, very nice. But one of the Adepts is able to get to a modicum of safety. But 2 Adepts in a probe is still juicy. Oh, that's the probe escape. Unfortunate mistake there for Ray. Oh, this Adept moves a bit far forward, though. There we go. She shuffles back into the choke point where she's only fighting 1 unit at a time. And with the Oracle coming home, should be able to defend. I can't believe that probe survived and now can rebuild the pylon. That's crazy. But good damage there for Reynor to get one back over. Got a Roach Horn. 3 more gases. No lair just yet. I think he needs to make a lair. I think maybe we can make it on the front hatchery maybe as well so your opponent can see it. Forge coming in. I do love that MAXPAX took the more defensive third. Ow. Oh, Adept's taking damage. But, dude, how many Adepts has he got? Oh, it's actually glaives. Oh my gosh, I'm so blind. I even saw it on the upgrade tab and it didn't even register. 8 roaches building. Not ready just yet. Reynor was planning to do a hatchery tech queen walk. Now he's making a lair because he's realizing, this might get delayed a little bit. It's only on 51 drones though. These roaches should be well timed to defend this, but they're just a few seconds late. Transfuse comes down, Adepts cancel the shade, and a single Zergling goes on a mission, sets off the stasis nicely. Does get killed by a glaive Adept just as he does it, but drones need to run. Okay, Queens and Roaches can now counter push. Honestly, this is going to be hard for MAXPAX to defend the counter, but because he's got the glaive Adepts, as long as he keeps them alive, he's got to shade them backwards. He's not shading backwards. I was going to say, as long as he gets them home, they'll clean up the Zerglings. He just needs enough Stalkers to deal with the Ravagers and Queens, and right now he's only got 4 Stalkers. Blink is not even halfway done. I think Reynor needs to just go, but the Adepts actually shade around, kill a bunch of Zerglings, and it's so hard for Reynor to push right now. Oh my gosh, he's going to lose all the drones in the natural. Remember, these Roaches don't have speed. There's no Ravagers with them. The Lings can't get good surface area. The Spore Crawler does uproot to at least let the Lings on top of them a bit more, but oh man, this is big damage. Meanwhile, Queens and Ravagers on the other side of the map. But a lot of his Lings already cleaned up at home. These Lings as well going to fight into a choke point. So the Adepts are going to clean so many of them. Stalkers dodging Biles, trying to build more batteries, and a cannon in the natural. One of the Queens does take a lot of damage. Transfuses going down. This Ravager, it goes down just before it finishes morphing. And he needs Lings on the front line. You need Lings to absorb the Stalker shots. All the Lings have been killed. 51 Zerglings already got taken out by those 18 Adepts. Not to mention the 18 drones that went down. Down 20 workers right now. He's on a timer. Cybercore's already been rebuilt because he knows this one's going to go down. And not just that, there's a Dark Shrine. That being said, it is lair tech, so Overseer can morph on the front line. But it's all about the numbers. 16 Stalkers now with Blink and +1. Gets rid of a Cybercore, but of course the new one's about to finish. Stalkers come forward, good transfuses there. Lings and Ravagers go for the surrounds, but the Ravagers are barely surviving. The Lings are starting to fall. The Cannon Oracle, oh my god, the Lings are getting smashed by the Cannon Oracle. Huge moves there for MAXPAX as the Stalkers come in from the right side, trying to bait a response in that direction. 3 of the Stalkers get wrapped around though, but look at the angle. Look at that angle, man. He's just got this beautiful arc of Stalkers. He's got that cannon in the natural still dishing out the hurt. Yes, the Ravager count grows. The army supply is massive for Reynor, but he needs to actually kill some Stalkers, and he needs to do it soon. Only 2 Stalkers have gone down. The Roach Ravager Link count keeps getting thinned out. MAXPAX, he's on 5 gateways with 4 more building. He's floating a little bit of money. There's a Dark Templar in here. Not to mention that Oracle coming over to this side. The cannons trying to defend with the Stalkers there against the Ravagers and the Lings. The Biles come forward. He actually blinks forward to try and focus the Ravagers down. Those Stalkers taking big damage. But dude, that Dark Templar takes out his 3rd Ravager kill. Reynor does not have an Overseer there. He realizes this has been held and he has to tap out. That's a 2-0 lead for MAXPAX. All right, guys, MAXPAX on the bottom right side of the map now up 2-0, taking control of this series, and as always, playing highly unpredictably by going for the pro block for the 3rd game in a row. MAXPAX, once he's figured out a thing that's working, that he likes doing, he will repeat it. And of course, Reynor, I think, was just thinking, you're not going to do it 3 times in a row. And he's like, well, I guess you are. That's fine. I'll take my 3rd. It's not the end of the world. 3rd base over here, I think, makes sense. I like this 3rd as like a little gimmicky base against Terran sometimes. It really is very exposed to oracles and things flying in. Does give you forward creep spread. I think the advantage of this is you got a ramp on the left. It's a bit awkward for your opponent to like rotate to new attack angles, but spawning pool gas in the main. Interesting spawning pool placement. I dislike this. Prism comes in and warps in Zealots. It's really hard to get Lings back here because you kind of... Anything that creates choke points or little areas, I just dislike as a Zerg. That's just me. Would I beat you, Thermal and Hearthstone? Yeah, if they've had a few shots and I'm tryharding, yeah. No, they're both much better than I am at StarCraft, guys. That is something we should do more, though, is get pros drunk during show matches. Like, it's Cyril versus the ranked 500 player in the world. Regular GM guy, Gary Johnson over here. And then, like, to balance it out, every couple of minutes, Cyril has to have a shot of vodka. And we're like, okay. You know, Cyril dominates the game. Second game, beats him pretty confidently. Third game, Cyril starts to make some mistakes, you know? And it goes on, and we just kind of... Yeah, until Cyril passes out. That would be a good show match. I would enjoy that. Dep's coming forwards. Let's go. Stargate's on the way. Pretty standard opening. He does chrono a second Adept as well, which, you know, pretty typical against forcing the third base. Then once again, third Queen. The 4th third hatchery, which I do love. I think it's good. That hatchery goes down. Queen's going to track that Adept, as will the Zerglings. Second one's heading forwards. He goes left, just in case some Lings are trying to sneak in there. Of course, the Overlord does see this. Not even trying to hide his Overlord. It's just kind of hanging in vision. There we go. Now it hides itself on the pillar. Up here with these purple mushies. Third Adept's on the way. These guys, will they commit to the shade? It's not a bad move to do so. Yeah, grabs a drone. One Zergling. Well done. Now, Ling speed's almost done. A few more Lings will be arriving, so he has to leave now, but I think that's a really well done opening here for MAXPAX. You just... Oh, and he shades again, the Mad Dog. Well, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but he's going to get a bunch more drones. Oh my gosh, so many. 5! That's a disaster, mate. REYNOR built friggin' 12 Zerglings, 10 Zerglings. And he's built 4 Queens. He should not be taking that damage. Now he's down 12 workers. MAXPAX, if he can secure his third, like he knows he just needs to defend right now. This is where, as REYNOR, you pull 5 workers, you mine open this, and you just Ling flood. And you hope Oracle Energy Recharge isn't as good as you thought. Legit, that's what I would do if I was REYNOR right now. I'd pull 5 drones. I'd be like, dude, we took too much damage early. I'm just gonna try to mine this open and flood Lings in your back door. Oracle tags the hatch. We got 5th Queen coming up. Ling's going to go for the pylon. Twilight Council, 2 more gases coming in. Ooh, second Oracle. 3rd and 4th Gateway comes in. Very nice. All right, so at this point, I'm thinking, are you dropping an Evo Chamber and going +1 melee? And the answer is no. Straight lair. I think he's going to try to go Hydrabane. I don't mind Hydrabane on this map. I don't love it. It's kind of hard to bust up this side. It's too much room for the Protoss to retreat backwards. Like, it's kind of choke pointy between the Nexus and that as well. So you got like kind of multiple chokes to move through. It does look like he's trying to go Hydrabane. No Evo Chamber yet. No Roachhorn. REYNOR is being Omega greedy. Luckily for him, it's Blink, not Charge or Glaive Adepts. Either of those would ruin him. Evo Chamber and 2 more gases go down, yeah. I think we're going to see that. Just rush to Hydras. See if he can get there. Question is, does he try to do like a 66, 70 drone Hydra Ling timing? He might. You know, going, hey, I cut a corner. Maybe I can do it with a Hydra timing. Because he took that damage early. It's not like this is a super crazy good Hydra timing or anything like that. That's a... What are we building here, mate? I don't know, the way he moved north, I thought he was going to build a Spire for a second, but he goes +1 range. It is going to be a Hydra Den. He needs it. Needs it now. He still hasn't started it. He's gone Overseer. Finally, that Hydra Den does go down, but there's already Stalkers on the front line. Oh my gosh. This is a really crisp 4-gate blink pressure, guys. I don't think he can defend this 4th. He's only got 10 Lings, 20 more building. Reynor's gone to 65 workers. There's an Adept and a battery at the third, so I don't think he can do much there either. And MAXPAX with 2 Oracles and 6 Stalkers says, lol, where's your third base, Zerg player? Fourth base. Where's your fourth base? Got your fourth base. And Reynor, much like an angry child whose nose is just being stolen by a cruel adult, is in trouble. First Hydralisk just now starting. Still no upgrades for those Hydras on the way. Queen Zergling, he's just outnumbered by these bloody Stalkers, man. He's outnumbered. Took a massive amount of damage early on, and now it's just hard to defend a crisp 4-gate blink pressure. Gases are going up on the third. Templar Archives charge. It's not an all-in. It was pretty committed. Like, he delayed his forge a little bit, but not that long. The Stalkers are just trading so well. 3 Protoss units for 45 Zerg units on the kills. Unfortunately, MAXPAX not watching and sends 2 Stalkers forward almost to their death, but not quite. And he's just going to back away. He's like, I've done enough. You're a 3-base Zerg now. Recalls these Stalkers on the right side. They survive as well. Wow. 4th base could go up behind this while he goes Storm, Charge, Immortal. And now Reynor's going to make a hard decision. Does he think he can recover in a long game? If so, how? Or does he just go, screw it, make Hydra, make Zergling. Hydra, Zergling go brrr, and drive across this map. He's going to make Overlord speed, making me think he wants to make a bit of a highway of creep. Give those Hydras a bit more mobility. Stalker's still trying to trade with the Hydraling on the front, using those stasis traps, so there's a little bit of support. Yeah, it's all in. So Reynor, honestly, do you think he pulls the boys, guys? If he could hit before Storm, a drone pull would still be terrible. The Stalkers are just going to blink back. Like, they're going to kite them down without fighting. No. I mean, I always think about it against Stalker styles, because I'm like, Stalkers are really bad against workers, right? But boy pulls, it's hard for Terran to make it work, and they've got Stim, man. All right, he's going to rotate down here. Mass Hydraling army. That stasis trap almost going off, but not quite. Stalkers do pick off a Hydra, but one of them does go down. Stasis trap. Oh, good snipe on the stasis. Cannon's going down. No Storms available. Storm got contaminated. Storm got contaminated. Sick contaminate for Reynor. No Side Storm for you, mate. No Side. Oh, it's about to kick in. Okay, Contaminate's about to wear off. The High Templar does have a Storm. It does go down. Is it enough, though? The Hydras quickly move out of it, but he moves back in. Moving back into the Storm. Maybe a mistake there. Only clips a few seconds of it, though. The Hydra link count. Is it enough? The answer is no. Reynor losing his fourth, losing those drones early on goes good game. Good game, MAXPAX, with your Protoss pieces. Honestly, sick comeback game 1 for MAXPAX, and just really kind of put the pressure on. It's very, very difficult. It takes an immense amount of finesse and detail to have your natural blocked and then defend those first 2 adepts without falling behind. It is so difficult to do consistently. And one of the hard things is the Zerg, if you're like, well, why don't you just have 4 more Zerglings? Then it's like, well, that's 2 less drones. And what if the Adepts just don't commit? And then they can shade towards your main if your Lings are too much at your third. And then I think, you know, MAXPAX did a really good job. Shaded got a drone and a Zergling with the first wave, and then he got 4 more drones for the Adepts. Defended his third from the Ling pressure, and it just felt like Reynor was fighting an uphill battle from there. Beautiful Blink Stalker pressure caught him off guard as well. And from there, it's lights out. I think if he didn't lose his 4th base, maybe if he took this one up here or had enough Zerglings ready to defend, maybe there's more of an option. But just a great series for MAXPAX and a dominant 3-0. GG, well played.